Hey guys, welcome to my review and first impressions of the brand new open beta that has just been released for Company of Heroes 2. Now, let's start off with the basics and what you can see on the screen, which is the interface. As you can see on the interface, we had a lot of things which were locked, such as the campaign, which looks to be just Russian, but we were open to Army Customizer to check out that new feature, and we are obviously allowed to check out the online battles and obviously battles versus the AI. So without further ado, let's get into what this game offers for the player and should you buy it. So starting off with the battle phase, when you first come into a game you will be presented with one main HQ, just like in the original Company of Heroes. Now with this HQ I was playing personally on this gameplay with an ally, however that's not really needed. Now what I decided to do is obviously build some external buildings for me to build the units. Now there are key differences between the Russians and Germans, something which you'll have to play as both to find out for yourselves and really which one suits you most. Now for the Russians you can build conscript infantry straight out of your HQ as they're cheap, affordable and only really effective, the game says, when they're in cover. However, whenever you're using the Germans you will have to build an external barracks to build the only really ground troop, the standard ground troop of that army being the Grenadiers. The Grenadiers are more expensive and you do have to build an external building to recruit them, however they are supposed to be better, obviously well equipped and just historically accurate as that's how it was in the war. So let's go on to the scenery and looks of the maps and layouts of the maps. On this map in particular I've played it before, so I was playing on Pripyat. Now Pripyat is a map that is pretty much segmented by a river all the way down the middle and only has 3 to 4 key crossing points. Good map overall, however it does have some disadvantages, such as the ability for each and every player to simply turn around and say let's camp it out. It's very easy to turn around and say let's camp it out and see what happens by placing barbed wire and defensive structures on your side of the river, making it very hard for your opponent to cross, or vice versa. It has been well known on this map as well for me after the few times I've played it to come to a stalemate where the map lasts a hell of a long time and the match gets a bit long and boring, something of which should really be changed. However, I suppose that's down to the player themselves and the playstyle they want to adopt. So the map itself looks visually are very good and the layout and cover system that your main can use is absolutely spectacular. However, I'm not seeing too much actually influence on the cover system apart from the yellow and green dots. Green dots obviously meaning really good cover and yellow dots I think are just meaning cover behind foliage or something that's not going to protect them from gunshots. Something which is understandable and has been implemented in past games such as Men of War. Now, the two different game modes in this complement the map absolutely fantastically. There may be more game modes when the actual official game is released, but we don't know yet. So for this so far we have Annihilation, which is obviously annihilating your opponent's base as fast as possible. However, points run out and resources get tight, so the match is not going to last forever even if you want it to. The next game mode you'll be playing as is obviously Capture and Hold. And what I mean by this is capture and hold several objectives around the map, all giving specific benefits, such as the flag you can see on screen now. The flag you can see on screen now can be built, or modified should I say, to suit a certain income type or resource. What I mean by that is building a munitions dump or fuel cache on it will allow you to increase your gain on that certain resource during the match. However, lose this point, it will be destroyed and the resources itself will be open to your enemy. Personally, from a personal perspective, the game mode of Capture and Hold is a lot more enjoyable and team based more than Annihilation. Annihilation can drag on if both teams decide to play defensively and you have to wait for the stalemate to roll out and someone to make a brave move. But overall, the combat system, the cover system and the looks and feel of this game are fantastic as of now. As you can see, the enemy are clearly displayed on your minimap and that will become vitally important when it comes to playing strategically with any team or any friend that you might want to play on this game with. The interface itself, such as the minimap, the options down the corner and the build menu are fantastically laid out, very simple and easy to use. I got the hang of that in my first game and now it's really quick and efficient, so no many complaints on the interface there, not even on the main menu and not even here as well. I'm sure you're all itching to see some combat itself in the game instead of me blathering on about the game types available that you'll be able to find out for yourselves in the beta. So without further ado, let's go straight on to see some combat and have a talk about what I think of it so far. So, the combat system itself is fantastic. You'll be able to see some gameplay in a minute of a Russian advance which pushes all the way back to our base until we've finally managed to fight it off. Now what can I say about the combat system? As well as the cover system for the units to use, the different range of troops in the combat environment is absolutely fantastic, comprising of all sorts of things from tanks to rocket launcher half-tracks and small and incredibly lightly armoured troop transports that could transport your men across the field, as well as fixed placed anti-tank guns. As you can see right here, the vehicles do have quite a heavy chance actually of being disabled by enemy fire. As you can see, my tank here takes some damage to its turret and its track and has to pull back out of the battle. This really does give it actually a really good cinematic feel, and actually it makes you feel like you have to think about where you place your troops. Now, my first initial thoughts are here to get my combat engineers on the job to give it some loving TLC, because that tank otherwise would have not been any use to me. Now be careful what you spend your resources on during battle times. It's easy, very easy in fact, to get carried away, spending, trying to get the upper hand in a battle, and these battles do last for quite a while, and you overspend, meaning you're left with nothing for the counter-attack that you may want to pursue afterwards, or even to defend your base if they do manage to break through, even after spending all your resources, which in this case it did happen here. I managed to fend off with my ally, my initial opponent's charge, but then we were pushed back to our base and there's nothing we could do about it. It's very easy for the game mode during a combat situation to run away from you. What I mean by this is you kind of lose track of what you should actually be doing, which is heading for the flags and main starred objectives on the map. Instead you focus on the big frontline battle, which seems epic in your mind and you want to control. That's obviously normal and will probably carry on. This is just player based, I suppose. But it is something that needs to be considered when playing this. Are you an objective type player, or do you just want to look at the goddamn kick-ass action? For the beta myself, I just want to see some kick-ass action, which is what I got out of this. Okay, and last but not least, when we're talking about the combat system, has got to be the command point system, which has been implemented into the game. Now what this does is allows you 3 different types of command structure, should I say. As you unlock command points, you'll be able to choose one of these structures, allowing you access to some special types of units, airstrikes and things like that during your game. Things which are very, very useful. Now I do apologise for the lagginess of this clip. It's my DX Tory did actually die and then try and recover itself, but still managed to die. But thank you for watching, guys. Been Virtual Venom here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. I'll be bringing you a video on the brand new State of Decay zombie game for Xbox 360 Arcade as soon as possible. Thank you very much.